Hello, this is Patrick with Plantin App. Today we are going to take a look at the new Sanitize HTML action available in Plantin App. Often applications will allow end users to submit content for a website through forms that accept plain text or rich text editor that allows the user to switch to an HTML input. While giving these inputs to end users is, of course, very useful, it does create the potential for issues such as execution of malicious scripts embedded in the HTML or broken HTML or even just undesirable styles. The Sanitize HTML action allows us to have control over just what a user can enter when HTML is allowed in a field. So let's take a look at a couple examples I've prepared here. This first example, JS example, you can see that you don't actually see any content displayed here, but of course there is a script that is saved in that field right there. We can take a look at that real quick. If I edit this item, you can see I have a console alert. I'm going to go ahead and just close that. And then I want to take a look at the second example here. I've titled it Undesirable HTML because I think that most would agree that this is not the most attractive content to have on a website here. So let me edit that and take a look at it. And just to show you a few things here. Notice that I have here a style attribute for this div that has the aquamarine background color. I have a break in here. I have an extra closing table tag in here that doesn't have any corresponding table anywhere. I have a span tag that's not closed. I have here an onClick. In this onClick is some JavaScript that will execute. And I'm also making the cursor a pointer. And then, of course, down here I have a closing body tag, which doesn't have a corresponding body tag here, so it could potentially close the body of the page. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. And real quick, I just want to demo what this does here. If I click that, it added this parameter to the URL. So let's take a look at the configuration of this form here. So I'm going to go to my cog and I'm going to choose Customize Form. I'm going to scroll down to the Add button, which is what creates my new piece of content. Open that up and then scroll down to the Actions and go to Add Action. And I'm going to scroll down to the Parsing item, which is where the Sanitize HTML action is located, and there it is. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to drag it so that it occurs before my content is created. So here's my action that's creating my content. So let me just go ahead and drag this up above there. So now, of course, I did point out that this is where my content is being created. So I want to take that token there that's creating my content. I'm going to copy that, and I want to put that as my input for my Sanitize HTML action. Now, of course, once the steps of the Sanitize HTML have happened, I need to have an output token. So I want to paste that here, and I'm just going to add sanitized. I don't need brackets here because this is my output token. I want to take that and scroll down to my content, which is where my content's being created, and I want to replace that token content with the content sanitized output token from my Sanitize HTML action. I've set it up now so that what's being input in here will be saved as the new content. Now let's take a look at the other options that are available in this action. The first one, convert links to nofollow, allows you to specify that the rel attribute with a value of nofollow is added to every anchor tag that's in the submitted HTML. This allows you to make sure that your site is not being used to boost the search engine rankings of someone else's site. The second item here, removable attributes, allows you to specify specific attributes that will be removed from every HTML tag. So for this item, I'm going to add onClick, which will take care of that JavaScript that was running, adding a parameter to the URL. And I'm going to add style, which will take care of the inline styles in the submitted content, which would restrict users to using only the styles that are in your classes. This item here, disable scripts, will remove the script tag. So this will take care of that console alert And perhaps this is the most important item in the entire sanitize HTML action. The next item is excluded or allowed tags. Note that I can toggle between which I'm going to use by checking this box right here. So if I check this box, I can specify tags that I'm allowing. So this would allow me to say, I want people to be able to create HTML only with these specific tags. All other tags will be removed. If I deselect this box, which of course is the default, I can specify tags that I want to be removed from the content when it's submitted. So I'm going to use the excluded tags, and I'm going to enter strong and let's say bold just for good measure. And then I'm going to add the break tag. The next item is removable tags, which allows me to specify tags where the entire content between the opening and closing tag will be removed, not just the tags themselves. So the difference here is when I do excluded tags, I'm specifying tags where the opening and closing tag are removed, but the content between them remains. Whereas here, I'm specifying tags where the entire piece of content will be removed. And then, of course, as we talked about already, the output token name is the last option here. So I've set this up the way I want it. Of course, I should add it to my update button as well. So let me go ahead and export the action as it is, copy it, and then scroll down the page to my update button. And down to the actions of my update button and import action. Paste that content in here, click import, and there's my sanitize HTML action. Now I'm going to drag that up above update content. And of course, I already have my correct token in here and all the settings I want. The only thing I need to do in addition to this is to take my output token name and go to my update content action here and make sure that that token is what I'm using to submit the content. Now I have everything set up the way I want it. I'm going to click save. And we'll go ahead and close this now. I'm going to re-navigate to this page just to refresh the URL and to show that the console alert is still there. And so the first item I'm going to take care of is, of course, that console alert. So let me edit this item. And I'm not going to make any change here at all. Just leave that script there just like it is and click Update. And you'll notice I didn't get the console alert. And let me just navigate back to the page one more time to show I'm still not getting the console alert. Now I'm going to take the content of this item here and create a new content item. Let me edit that. Just copy that text and click New. And I'll call it Sanitized Item 2. And I'll paste the content into this area here. And I'm not going to make any changes and click Add. And you can see the content is significantly changed from what it was above. The bold is removed and the background is removed. And for this item here, I still have the cursor, but note when I click it, it's not adding the parameter to the URL like it was earlier. Let's take a look at this piece of content so you can see how the HTML changed when it was saved. So first notice I have this div here and the style attribute has been completely removed so that I no longer have the colored background and the bold text. And the div is closed. And I have this other div here which had the darker green background and it is now also closed and it wasn't previously. And my span tag now is closed and the on-click event has been removed from my span tag. So I'll go ahead and close that now. Keep in mind, the sanitize HTML action can be used anywhere you may be receiving HTML content into your database, such as via a form or an API. That wraps up this low-code feature focus where you learned how to use the sanitize HTML action. I hope you have found this information helpful. If there is another feature you'd like to see in a future video, please leave a comment below. For more great low-code content, make sure you subscribe to Plant an App by clicking the subscribe button below. Thank you.